Revenge films.
I met my boyfriend Bob in college. One day, he said,
Hey, we should move in together.
"We both started working 3 years ago. Been going out with him for 4 years. I was starting to think about marriage, so I was happy to hear him say that. Of course! But I was kind of worried about something. Ever since junior high, I always got really sick during my period, and it was getting worse. I even went to see a doctor once, but there was nothing wrong with me. He told me that it might get better after I gave birth. He said stress could make it worse, so he told me to take it easy. I guess there wasn't much I could do. I'll just have to deal with it until I give birth then, I thought. But still, I hated having my period. The second day was always the worst for me. I was in a lot of pain. The painkillers didn't even work. Sometimes I had to take a few days off from work. People at work understood, but not Bob. Maybe because he was a guy. Every time I tried to cancel a date because of my period, he just said,
I'm a guy. I don't know anything about that stuff. Just come.
He just didn't care. This one time, he asked me out on a date, but I said no because I knew I was gonna have my period around that time, but...
Come on. Stop making excuses. What if we have kids someday? You're just gonna abandon your kid because you're having your period?
Of course not. I'll figure it out. And the doctor said it might get better after I give birth, so...
If you can do that for your child, why not me? You don't care about me, do you?
Back then, I still had feelings for him. I didn't want to upset him, so I decided to go on the date. I'm sure he'll take it easy. But I was naive to think that. A few days later, he came on the date with his mom. What the?
We're looking at apartments today, so I brought my mom. She can help us choose.
I was having my period that day, and now this? I was so stressed. By the way, this was my first time meeting her. Hello, nice to meet you, I said weakly. I was still feeling really sick. She didn't say anything back to me. She just stared at me from top to bottom. Then she said, "You're having your period, right? I heard. It hurts that bad? You sure you can give birth? Can you raise a child?" I didn't know what to say to her. I mean, I wasn't even engaged to him yet. Who tells their mom about stuff like that? I think this is when I started to lose feelings for him. Anyway, we started looking for our apartment, but they were so picky. We looked at dozens of apartments, but they still couldn't decide. I was exhausted. So I told him, "Hey, I gotta go home."
What's wrong with you?
"You're so weak." They said all kinds of mean things to me, but I could barely stand. I ignored them and headed home. I don't even remember how I got home. That's how tired I was. I took some pills after I got home and fell asleep. I woke up about 3 hours later. I had a missed call from Bob, so I called him back. "Hey, sorry about earlier."
Mom was so mad. Why did you have to do that in front of her? What's your problem, huh?
What?
Oh, and Mom told me. You've been with lots of guys, haven't you? That's why your period is so painful. You might not even be able to have kids, right? Why didn't you tell me, huh?
None of that was true. And he talked to his mom about this? What the hell? He was a guy, I get that, but I can't believe his mom said all those things about me. She should know better. And Bob just kept going on and on like this, talking about what his mom told him. I was done with him. Okay, let's break up.
What? What are you saying?
You believe your mom more than me, right? Fine then. Why don't you go marry your mom, huh? Turns out his mom was right there. "I told you, that slut!" I heard her yelling in the background. I had nothing else to say to them, so I hung up. Then I started thinking. Now that I think about it, he was always talking to his mom on the phone, even when we were out on a date. I can't believe I didn't notice. Why was I into him? Like they say, love is blinding. We worked at different companies and we lived far away, so I'll probably never see him again. And I wasn't even sad. If anything, I was relieved. About a month later, I heard from a friend that Bob got married. Apparently, he knocked up some girl. Wait, we only broke up a month ago, and he already got a new girl pregnant? Maybe he was cheating on me. Whatever. I didn't really care about him anymore. I just focused on my work and my social life. About 6 months later, I started dating this guy I met at work. We got married a year later. He understood my condition. He was so considerate. And my condition was getting better too. I remember the doctor saying that stress can make it worse. I guess being with Bob was causing a lot of stress. I just didn't realize it. Then, after I gave birth, the pain went away. Everything was finally going my way. Then, one day, I saw Bob on my way home after taking my son for a routine checkup. He was with a woman, probably his wife, and his mom. His mom looked really old. The years had been cruel to her. She had lost most of her teeth. Bob was a mess too. His hair was all over the place and his clothes were dirty. He looked like a hobo. His wife's face was pale. She didn't look well either. Why were they at the hospital though? I found out a week later when my friend came over to congratulate me for the baby. Turns out his wife wasn't pregnant when they got married. But he lied to his mom because she really wanted grandkids and he didn't want to disappoint her. But it didn't take long for her to find out. I also heard that his wife got some infection when she was young and her chance of having kids was close to zero. But Bob's mom didn't give up. She forced her to get infertility treatment. That's why they were at the hospital. And it looked like Bob was still siding with his mom. His mother spent all her money on the infertility treatment. She didn't even have enough money left for her teeth. They were up to their necks in debt. I heard he's calling his old friends to borrow money. Not sure what happened to him after that. I'm just so glad that I didn't marry him. Can you imagine? Ugh. Anyways, I'm just glad everything worked out for me. Thank goodness.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.